And then I guess the reality sets in. You remember,
and
then you have to go to war. So how does that feel?
So I went up to the mighty 4-5 Commando based up in Arbroath. So in the Marines you have 3 units, one up in Arbroath and 2 down south, one in Taunton and one in Plymouth. You basically get all the Scousers, Geordies, Jocks and Manx just go up to Scotland out the way, and that makes up 4-5 Commando, and it's just a great bunch of lads, as you can imagine, loads of Northerners, and it's just a brilliant time. And at that time the unit was out in Afghanistan when I passed out, so there wasn't many people at the unit, and you'd literally turn up for work every morning and the Sergeant Major would say, right lads, I need 4 volunteers, and you'd stick your hand up to volunteer, and you'd literally either get sent to Afghanistan, Iraq or Leckensfield on a driver's course,
okay.
Which is near Hull. So every morning I'd turn up, and 60 guys would turn up maybe, and you put your hand up and the Sergeant Major would pick a few of you. Again, you'd either end up in Iraq, Afghanistan or Leckensfield, and that was like that for a few weeks, really? Until I eventually got picked, and I ended up going to Iraq. So I was 18 at the time and went to a place called which was on the Iraqi-Kuwait border. And it was essentially my job to train, mentor and coach the Iraqi Marines, the Iraqi Navy, so that when we pulled out, hopefully Iraq would be in a better place. Really chilled out time for me. I never had to fire my weapon once. I was never in any real danger. We had the Americans with us, so we had nice food, we had swimming pools, we had a volleyball court. Yeah, really chilled out time for me. Chilled out 4 to 5 months. And nothing really to report in that sense. I think it made me a more well-rounded person. And it made me look at the world a lot differently. You know, in the news, maybe you could look at the conflict in Iraq and should we have been there and shouldn't we have, and all that. But for me, I got to speak to the locals, and I think it gave me a lot of perspective on life. And it was a real. I look back on it, kind of really humbling experience for me. It was a good time for me personally. Got back from Iraq, and then spent the next kind of year training then for what would be the next tour in Afghanistan. And I rather naively thought, Iraq, Afghanistan, can't be that much different, surely. But couldn't have been more wrong. Yeah. Afghanistan was like going back 1,000 years in time. It was like the Wild West. Right. It was literally lawless. It was crazy. Yeah, and I think that kind of 2008, 2009, 2010, defined a generation in the military, because I always remember being in the Sangha once, and I'd been there a few weeks. And literally every day you came into some sort of contact with the enemy, whether that was on patrol, whether that was a bomb going off, getting shot at, or the base getting attacked. Something happened every day, more or less. And I remember being there a few weeks, and I was in the Sangha, and I was on a machine gun firing back. And a guy ran in who'd been in the Marines maybe 17, 18 years. And again, as a young Marine who's maybe been in 3 or 4 years at this point, you kind of look up to these senior guys and you'd expect them that they've been there, seen it, got the t-shirt. Yeah. But you forget Afghanistan, no one had seen nothing like this for years. You might have been in the military 15, 20 years and you'd never seen anything like this. Yeah. So for us young lads, we've been in Afghanistan now and doing this. It was a normal everyday thing on the machine guns. And this guy ran in and he's like, fucking hell, Andy, yes, I've waited 20 years for this, I've never... And that was the point when I thought this tour of Afghanistan, no one's ever seen nothing like this before, because it was crazy. As a country, our military had never seen fighting like it in Afghanistan. And
he was excited then. Was you excited or scared or both?
At that point, it was kind of, I was just used to it. I mean, I'm sure we'll come on to the kind of how the body can adjust to things and the mind, but you just got used to it. It was such a crazy thing to even say now. You get used to getting shot at every day, but it was still nervous and you were still scared and excited, but you just got used to it. Whereas the first time, I think for him, maybe he'd maybe waited 20 years for a war like this, maybe, and for him it was like, wow, this is happening every day. And whereas again, once you've been there a few weeks, it was a bit more like, bloody hell, not this again.